And for the first time in history, WNBA games will be played in the United Center. The Chicago Sky will host the Indiana Fever at the UC on Saturday, June 7th, and on Sunday, July 27th. The highly anticipated games will feature Fever star Caitlin Clark against the Sky's very own Angel Reese. The largest attendance at a Sky game ever happened in 2016 at Allstate Arena with more than 16,000 fans. While the United Center can fit more than 20,000, so more fans can get in on the action. Tickets go on sale on March 11th.
Angel Reese insists that women's basketball isn't defined by just one player. The Chicago Sky just delivered a harsh reality check. They didn't just relocate a game. They made history by bringing their showdown with the Indiana Fever to the iconic United Center, home of the Bulls.
And looking, here's Clark. She fires, and go! Wow!
Go. Wow. Oh. And why? Because of Caitlin Clark. No one else. Not Angel Reese. Not any other player. This isn't just a subtle message. It's a neon billboard lighting up the entire WNBA. Clark is the main attraction, and even teams that pretend otherwise are capitalizing on her star power. But here's where it gets spicy. Before Caitlin Clark, the WNBA struggled to fill seats, let alone pull off headline-making moves like this. Now, entire franchises are reshaping their business strategies around her. Angel Reese and her camp might not want to hear it, but the truth stings. Clark is the game changer, and the Chicago Sky just proved it. Buckle up, folks, because we're diving headfirst into the controversy shaking up the basketball world.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airways of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. Let me get to some sports items. That's my wheelhouse. I got a few things on my mind, actually. I didn't mention it in my cold open, but I'm going to mention it now, and that's Caitlin Clark herself of the WNBA. Let's get to the WNBA and this sensational rookie from the Indiana Fever who continues to be box office. Clark and the Fever currently lead the WNBA in average game attendance and per game TV viewership. But despite the attendance and viewership records, there seems to be some haterade in the league in regards to Clark, starting with WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops herself.
Before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's be real. The Chicago Sky moving their game against Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever to the United Center wasn't just business. It was a statement. The first ever WNBA game at the iconic arena is happening for one reason: Clark. Angel Reese insists other players deserve equal credit for the league's growth, but if that were true, why didn't Chicago make this move before? The WNBA has had stars for years, yet no one has sparked this level of demand. Clark is the game changer. Reese's claims would be valid if Chicago were making these moves for other matchups. They're not. This is Clark's world, and everyone else is just playing in it. Let's talk numbers before Clark. WNBA attendance averaged around 6,600 per game. Now we're seeing packed arenas and record-breaking viewership. Caitlin Clark steps onto the court. It's not just a basketball game. It's an event. The United Center move is just the latest proof that the WNBA is riding the Caitlin Clark wave, whether they want to admit it or not.
Has WNBA changed just because of one player? Is Caitlin...
Before Caitlin Clark entered the league, WNBA games struggled to break into the mainstream. Sure, there was a loyal fan base, but let's be honest. Most games barely made a ripple beyond hardcore fans.
To take that on and be that for my teammates, and if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Matchups were competitive, but they lacked that must-watch factor. Arenas had empty seats, TV ratings were stagnant, and media coverage was minimal. Now, the landscape has completely changed, and one name is at the center of it all: Caitlin Clark.
Average attendance of WNBA games not involving Caitlin Clark is 8,490. So games Caitlin Clark plays are averaging 85% more than non-Caitlin Clark games. Just throwing that out there. You need to know. You need to understand these are the kind of things that comes with it.
Clark's arrival wasn't just big, it was a cultural shift. Attendance soared overnight, merch sales exploded, and networks scrambled for WNBA rights. Ticket prices hit unprecedented highs, and here's the kicker: entire teams began reshaping their business strategies just to accommodate her. Angel Reese might argue that no one player defines the league, but the numbers tell a different story. Indiana's opening game against the New York Liberty was proof. Over 177,000 fans packed Gainbridge Fieldhouse, creating an atmosphere usually reserved for NBA playoffs or A-list concerts. The energy was electric. This wasn't a coincidence. It was the Caitlin Clark effect in real time. She's not just growing the game, she's revolutionizing it.
He said, if I had transferred earlier in my career, I wouldn't be having the time of my life.
Still skeptical about Clark's impact? Let's look at two teams that literally changed venues just to capitalize on her arrival. The Atlanta Dream, instead of playing at their usual Gateway Center arena, moved their matchups against the Indiana Fever to State Farm Arena, home of the Atlanta Hawks.
Reeves has really taken upon her shoulders to be more aggressive offensively. She trade and she Caitlin Clark for free. Rattled
Recently being the first WNBA player that has recorded consecutive 20-plus.
Reeves. That leg tips it away and off and running. Caitlin Clark wins the pass.
Well, Drea, you don't have to wait any longer. The pick is in. Time to get things back to the podium. Here is the commissioner, Kathy Engelberg.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Golden Doodle.
Oh!
That's golden.
Biniam Maru are your officials here today. She's up there with rebounds, up there with steals. And she'll take the first 3 points.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Well, Caitlin Clark hugging her family, her brothers, Blake and Colin, her father Brent, her mother Ann, and heading.
Start to the season in terms of scheduling. Yes, they are ready. And they have fresh legs coming in here to defense. As the Fever gets the jump and the first bucket is down by. There's Van Loo. Getting Edwards on the move. Got it deep. The defense would definitely be at the top of the list. Wallace in the corner gets that to go. Golson can stick. Here's Boston off the pick and roll. Little hesitation, gets that off the.
To take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because I want to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize
Look, I be right.
NBA has been around for well over 2 decades now, but never in its storied history has it ever generated even a third of the 2024 season. Yes, you heard that right. And in case you're wondering what the figures are, well, a whopping rise to an unbelievable 1.4 million average viewers in 2024 tells a tale of a long overdue exposure erupted into the scenes. And why is everybody clamoring to get a peep of the action? Well, I have two words for you: Caitlin Clark.